Right back at you. Welcome to the SoulTies podcast, November edition. I am your host, the Love and Life Coach, Dale Lawrence. And I got with me once again my beloved cousin, the People's Bishop.
The People's Bishop.
Bishop Kevin Foreman.
Yes, sir. So glad to be with you. It's going to be an amazing podcast.
Yes, it is, my brother. Yes, it is. Now, I did a post. Got a lot of reaction. And by the way, if you are not following me on social media, shame on you. I give you daily doses. At SoulTies Trilogy, like it's spelled, on Facebook, on Instagram. And definitely hit the subscribe button, SoulTies TV on YouTube. Now that we got that out the way, man, we are still officially, right, technically, of course, some parts of the country are not, but overall, in this pandemic.
Yep.
And people's peace is really being disturbed. It's really being hijacked. It's really being attacked. And I want to encourage all of the soldiers out there on this particular episode to protect their peace. Now, everybody's going through something, right?
Sure.
How does one keep peace when it is under attack?
Great question. So I'm actually going to say something that's probably going to blow many people's mind. Because many people are talking about my peace, protect my peace, protect my peace. Here's what I want to say. That is a concept that is often misunderstood. Let's first define peace. So peace, biblically speaking, comes from this Hebrew word shalom. It means nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing lacking, all is well. Let's break that down. Nothing missing. So at peace, it means that nothing's missing. So if somebody would say, well, but Bishop, I feel like something's missing, you need to go count again. Count again. Because if you don't have it in its harvest form, you have it in its seed form. I could drop the mic right there, and that could be the podcast.
You sure can. Can you back that thing up?
Let me back that thing up. Listen, if you do not have it right now in its harvest form, then you have it in its seed form. All right.
Now that you backed it up, break it down.
Let's break it. Listen, break it down. Listen, okay.
Come on now.
Back it down and break it up.
Yeah,
listen,
back it up and break it
down.
This
whole
Come
dance.
on.
Back it down.
Yeah, it is.
Break it up. Back it down. It's a whole dance. So here you go. So, for example, if what you think you need is an apple tree, all right, because the Bible says God has given us all things that pertain to life and godliness, which means everything I need to have an amazing life and be a great Christian, I already have.
That's good.
You already have it.
Yes, sir.
So to say something is missing, broken, or lacking is to make an indictment to say God lied.
Wow.
Because he said, I've already given you everything you need.
Oh, yeah.
Pertaining to life and godliness.
Right.
So if you say something's missing, you may not have it in its harvest form. So if you need apple trees, all right, or apples rather, apples is the end result. So what do you need? You need apple trees to get apples. What do you need to have an apple tree? You need to plant apple seeds. So the reality is you may look at your life and say, well, I don't see any trees with apples, but I do see, but they're seeds. Yep. You have the seeds.
Yep.
You have the little thing that you need to turn it into something big. You may not have the money now, but you have the opportunity to go work. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me. You may not have the friends you want, but you can have the seeds of friendliness. You may not have the business that you want, but you have the opportunity to go to the University of YouTube. So you may not watch me. Let's go here.
Yeah.
You may not have the money to go to school, but you have the internet.
Yeah.
So everything, there's nothing missing. There's nothing broken in your life. Why is there nothing broken? Because you always have the ability to fix it. Okay. As long as you have the ability to be a solutionist, You're a problem solver. So you always have the ability to fix it. So there's nothing that's broken in your life that you don't have the ability to fix. Here's why oftentimes we feel like we cannot fix something. We feel like we often cannot fix something because we are trying to solve the problem at the same level of intellect that created the problem.
Wow.
What does that mean? What does that mean? So you being a hothead created the problem. So you being a hothead ain't gonna fix the problem.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
feeling lonely created the problem. You staying in a lonely state of mind is not gonna fix the problem.
Come on.
You're gonna have to elevate in order to solve the issue. So nothing missing. This is what peace means. Shalom. Nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing lacking. Nothing lacking is very similar to nothing missing. As long as you have seed, you're never in lack.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go money. If you're a faithful giver, Bible makes it very clear. Given it shall be given unto you, pressed down, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. A giver is never in lack because they always have a harvest that's on the way.
Mm.
Okay?
Man.
A tither. Let me be clear. When I say giver, that means a
Yeah.
tither.
Yeah.
That's first
Yeah.
10% of every gross form of income and everything that comes above your tithe. You're faithful in giving that, sowing seed. When you're a faithful giver, you are never broke. I lived that experience. My whole first book passes based off of the experience that I lived, having built a great business. Went through a valley when that industry collapsed, and I gave my way out of that valley.
Man.
And literally, I watched that principle work. So watch me. Even though I was in what many people would have looked at as lack, all I was doing was getting seed in the ground to prepare for harvest.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
Nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing lacking. All is well.
All is
Everything's
well.
good.
Break that down.
All is well. Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good. So everything's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah. But
Oh
you
my
got
God, but
people
this
out there
bad
it's
thing
not
happened to
good.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
say to
yeah.
those people, man? It's bad things going on. I lost my job. I don't have no money right now. I'm just, it's easy to say that, Bishop, but we in the pandemic. I'm broke. I lost my job. What do you say to
Yeah,
that
I would
person?
say to you, yeah, it's tons, it's millions of companies hiring. So I'm confused as to why you stuck. McDonald's is paying people $20 an hour. So I'm just confused. Don't let your pride keep you from getting the check.
Come on
Listen,
now. Come on now. That's a whole
um,
word right there.
fast food restaurants are paying, and sometimes we look at that as it's low work or lowly work or what have you. And I tend to look at any opportunity to just say it's necessary. That's not low to provide food for people so that they have sustenance to keep moving throughout the day.
That's
That's not a
necessary.
that's not a lowly thing.
That's good.
Sometimes people, the reason people feel like something is missing, broken, or lacking is because pride has produced an expectation that life isn't producing for them.
Mm.
I'll say it again.
Well,
Pride has produced an expectation that life isn't producing for them. So
well.
there's this, oh, well, I deserve this. Why?
Mm.
Why? It should be this. Well, it is what it is. What you gonna do to make it different?
Mm.
You know what movie comes to mind? You and I both love movies. You know what movies come to mind? Remember New Jack City?
Yep.
When Pookie and the girl, I just don't know her. I don't know if the movie ever said her name. They were both, dealing with a crack addiction and what have you.
Right.
And remember how they were both in the apartment complex, and they were trying to eat something, and he was talking real crazy to her, and she was like, "Who you talking to?" I was prom queen of King High School,
This is
and
beneath me.
this is beneath me. And
Right,
he
right.
looked at her and said, "Look at you." He said, "Look at you. You strung out on dope. You look like Skeletor." I think is what he said, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And if I remember right, you would remember better than me,
Mm-hmm.
because you'd be remembering the movies.
Oh yeah.
But the point is, so pride. I mean, listen, sweetheart, you're eating. Pride has made you think that because you had a success years ago that you were entitled to future successes. You're as good as your last kill.
Wow.
You're as good as your last kill. So you got to keep winning. And I want to encourage somebody. Don't let the fact that you're in between wins steal your peace. Nothing
Mm.
is missing. Nothing is broken. Nothing is lacking. All is well. You have everything you need, but some of it's in seed form.
Let's speak to this predicament of people who hijack your peace, people that you're around, friends,
Wow.
relationship, family. How
Mm.
do you navigate through protecting your peace from people who try to steal it.
Let me ask you, what would you say to that? I mean, what? Because I think
I,
I want to hear. I'm curious to
yeah,
hear
yeah,
your thoughts.
definitely. Well, my quote this week was, once you get a taste of perfect peace, you'll cut anyone off to keep it. I believe in the
Mm,
cutoff game.
mm,
If you are
mm,
disturbing my peace, I kind of, it depends on who you are, whether the strike system I use. Three strikes if you're an average friend. If well, three strikes if you are a family member, average friend, someone that's inner circle to me. Three strikes. But if you're just an average friend, you got two times. I'm gonna tell you about yourself the first time. I'm gonna tell you,
mm-hmm.
hey, look, your negative talk, your this is hey, you really, I don't want to hear that. You robbing me of my peace. You're not being supportive of my dream and of my vision. And then if you continue to do it, I just gotta move, man. I gotta move. I gotta cut you off. Not necessarily cut you off as a friend, but cut off the communication to where you are literally disturbing my peace, because I have to
Mm-hmm.
really program my peace. Just like I
Mm-hmm.
program a playlist, you ought to program the people in your life that can encourage you, speak faith to you, speak peace to you. I mean, you are the CEO of your life. I mean, you
Yeah.
should not be letting people disturb, hijack, or rob you of your peace. Peace must be protected, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Okay. So let me throw this let me throw this in the mix. So,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to people, because the reality is peace is not the, I'm going to say this. This is an epic quote. I need the listeners to tweet this to me and Insta story this to me at Bishop Foreman, BishopForeman. All right. This is so good to me. Just thinking it made me get up and smile. Um, Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the absence of problems bothering me.
That is good. Back that thing up
I don't
and
hear
slow it
nobody
down.
saying nothing to me right there.
Back
All right,
that
so
thing up
so
and slow
so
it
let's
down.
let's
That was
go
good.
let's go Bible. Bible says that he will give you peace that surpasses all understanding. He didn't say that what you would deal with would be peaceful. In fact, the more territory you take, because listen, we're talking to warriors, we're talking to gladiators, we're talking to fighters that are on this podcast that have made some amazing things happen, that have taken bad hands and played them well. Well, guess what? The more territory you take, the more success you have. What does that mean? That's battles. That battles aren't peaceful. I've never seen a peaceful war. Have you?
Never.
I've never seen a peaceful battle. I ain't never seen two gangs come in the street and pull out a chessboard and say, let's say, I've never seen that. I've never seen peaceful battle. So, people are one aspect. And I agree. You gotta deal with that. And if people are creating drama and trauma and issues, that's one thing. But the other thing is to modify what peace looks like, because it's not the absence of problems. It means it's just that doesn't bother me. So let's even use people. So and so talking about you. So and so talking. There's some people. What about this? You can't cut off your coworkers. You work with them. So what you have to sometimes learn how to do is to keep it from bothering you.
That's good.
Keep it from bothering you. So peace is, now you're not going to bother me.
Mm.
I'm going to sleep good. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to eat good. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to have a good day. Well, so and so said this and this. Oh, okay. Well, that's so and so's issue with me. That ain't my issue with myself.
Now, how can you do
Because,
that? What advice would
well,
you give people to do that?
it's a choice.
Keep it
It's
from
a
bothering
choice.
you. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
It's
okay.
it's it's,
Good.
it's just a simple. It's a
Simple but
choice.
profound.
It's But you know what? The most profound things are the most simple things.
I agree.
um Life isn't really complex. We make it complex because we want it to fit our expectation, instead of recognizing that the reality is that sometimes you have to modify that. Again, for the CEOs listening, the entrepreneurs, there's not going to be a day where you're not going to have some issues with your business. Guess what? Your seat is literally the seat of a problem solver. If you're a chief executive officer, if you're an entrepreneur, your job is literally to solve the problems that the people under you couldn't solve.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's also why you get paid more than what the people under you
That's good.
get paid, because you're solving issues that they just, it's not to mean they're less than. It just means there's not problems that they solve.
Mm-hmm.
And so consequently, you're not going to do that. In ministry, you're not going to have a day where there's no problems.
Mm.
I mean, the very word ministry comes from the word which means to serve. In dealing with people, you're not going to have a scenario where there's no problems. You just decide that it no longer bothers you. I'll share this as a pastor. There are things that used to bother me. And I mean, I would call meetings and I would do this. And to be honest, I was sort of over pastor. Because in my mind, this is disturbing the peace of the organization. We need to fix this. And here's what I discovered is that number one, you only know a little bit of what's going on in totality, right? You
Uh-huh.
could think you know everything, but the truth is you don't know everything. Number two, the reality is you really, there's certain things that just don't require to be treated. You deal with it in the spirit and you move on. Here's an example. Jesus never confronted Judas, not once, not once. He never said, "Hey man, you stealing from me. You need to stop." He never once said, "No." You know why? Because Jesus said, "Listen, I know what you're doing, but it's not going to bother me." Why? Here it is. Here's peace. I have 3.5 years to get my assignment done. So if I focus my energy on you, I'm not going to be able to do it with peace, because I'm going to be stretched out from your behind all the time.
Come
And
on
if we
now.
live like that, Pastor, if we live like that, like if we live with the sense of, I have a limited amount of time to get done what I'm supposed to get done on the earth. And if I am sitting here following up, running behind you, living worried about what you're doing, worried about who you talk to, I will never accomplish what I'm supposed to accomplish.
So on that note, I say protect your peace at all costs. Cut
Oh, of course.
cut anybody off that hijacks it or threatens it, and everyone don't deserve access to you.
No, no, no. You got to protect your peace from people, but then you also need to protect your peace. Let's use another P. You got to protect your peace from your perception. And that's everything I just finished talking about, which
Man,
is,
oof,
yeah, you're just not going to bother me.
man,
Yeah,
come
I'm
on.
just not bothered by that. I'm just not.
Yeah,
It's not.
man. Yeah.
I'm just not bothered. Well, so and so, they talking about you. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
I mean, what am I going to do? What? You better stop talking about me. I mean, you're a whole grown man. You're a whole grown. Let me tell you something. Here's what I learned. I learned that the Lord is better at. The Bible says, "Vengeance is mine," says the Lord. The Lord is better at getting people back than you'll ever be,
That's good. I
because
agree.
they're going to have to reap what they sow.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I've just seen that. So I've just discovered, you know what? Whatever you're doing, I can't let it distract me, and I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not going to lose energy over it. I'm not going to lose time over it. I'm not going to take my eye off of the prize to come deal with your behind.
Come on, man.
No,
Good stuff.
no.
Good stuff. Well,
Yeah.
that's how we get busy here at the Soul Ties podcast. Each and every month, we do it just like this. Make sure you subscribe to all channels and follow the great Bishop at Bishop Ford.
At Bishop Foreman. Yes, sir.
We'll see you next month, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, peace, love, and soul, y'all. God bless.
Love you.
Listen, I want to bless you with a free gift. Make sure you text Soul Ties to 888-756-8681 to receive a free ebook, free message, and weekly podcast on my Patreon.